All right, back in house with these Boaz. What do they call Boazidians, or how would you say that? Like Sardinians and Sardis. What would we say?
No clue.
Do we even know what that means? Well, let's just say Boaz Pirates. How about that?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the clever name, like you know how the people say that, Minnesotans or something like that. But anyways, we're here, Coach. We have a very special player here who's all-state flag football performer. But introduce who you have with you today, Coach.
Peyton Hall, probably one of the most dynamic female athletes I've ever been around. Really good for us on the basketball court, good for us softball, and then obviously flag football as well. So just a really, really good all-around female athlete.
Peyton, it's good to have you in. We got to interview you last year. We've covered you in all three sports. We enjoy doing so. You had a tremendous flag year. We could sit here. I want to touch on that for a second before we just, scoot on by that. No pun intended with my scooter's coffee in my hand. But talk to us a little bit about the flag, because we're going to obviously ask, because Coach Bowen was there through the trials, tribulations this year. You guys had some tremendous highs. But talk to us about your flag season, and then we're going to talk about the transition over to basketball.
I mean, flag football season, it was just, honestly, it kind of just feels like a dream now. Being in that time, it was just awesome. Getting able to do that, getting able to make history again with going to the Final Four in only the second year of our program with pretty much an entirely new team. We only had me and one other girl come back from the original team, and then everybody else was just new. So it was just really exciting to be able to be a part of that.
Now, you just touched on something, and Coach Bowen and I talked about this off camera. I don't know if you guys realize, the foundation that's being built here. These are the first two, and then you're already in the Final Four. That's got to mean something. Has that sunk in yet, or do you still not know that that's happening because you're still playing and you got another season to go? But has that sunk in with you yet?
I mean, yeah, it has, but I'm just excited for the next couple years. It's hard for me to just sit back and think on it when I still have 2 more years to possibly do even better things. So
that's correct. That
standard has been set, but we want to set a new standard.
And we're obviously sitting here because it's basketball season, and I like asking the athletes is, how was your transition? Because totally different sports. Some are similar. This one's not similar. But still, there's a different type of shape you got to get in and things. But how's your transition been?
I wouldn't the transition. I don't know if there was one. We were kind of doing flag football and basketball at the same time, so it was just kind of doing it both at once. So once flag football got done, it was kind of something else was off of our plates. So, but it's been fun. I mean, the first couple games, still football minded because I was still playing flag football. I fouled out the first 3 games.
That's awesome.
So
not for me.
Not for Coach.
But yeah, it's been a pretty smooth transition just getting into basketball season, and because pretty much all 4 of us sophomores playing everything together, so it's not like I was around a new group of girls.
Makes sense. Coach, what is it about her? I mean, you've coached some dynamic athletes over the years. You went to high school with dynamic athletes, but what separates her from your typical everyday athlete?
One thing I talk to her about a lot is just her competitive nature. I think that's something that me and her are very similar, very, very similar. Just the way that she likes to compete, how hard-nosed and stuff she is. That side of the things, just the competitive nature of her is just a lot different than a lot of people. Then you just go to God-given ability, the skill. That's one of the reasons that she's able to be as phenomenal on the flag football field. Is a lot of the flag football comes from just being an athlete. If you're fast, quick, and stuff, you can be successful. And then, so she is definitely those things. And then you add on top of that her work ethic. How smart she is, her competitive nature. That just allows her to be even more successful than she already is. But she works hard in the weight room. That's one thing a lot of girls don't take as serious, and that's something that she takes very seriously. She works very hard in the stuff that she competes in. And then going back once again, her just mindset and competitive nature sets her apart from a lot of people.
When you and Coach Will were looking for somebody as a leader, a quarterback, not only on the offense, she kind of leads, gets people in the right place in the defense too, from what I've seen, or she's at least chewing people out. Talk to us about what stood out about her. Like, okay, she's got this characteristics that can obviously help us.
Look, I mean, I was the main one pushing for her to move to have her at quarterback because, like, I'm calling the offense, and it's you want somebody there that's dynamic, that can in flag run, can throw, is going to be
Got a little bit of an edge to them.
Yeah, and like it's going to take coaching and stuff, and is going to be able to handle that kind of pressure and stuff, and like she'll tell you she was apprehensive about it to begin with. Like, there was a lot. She was like, I don't know if I'm gonna do this. I did so good at running back and all this stuff, but I knew that she was gonna be good there. I knew she was, and I think early on there was some speculation like, is she gonna be able to throw still? But I knew her work ethic was gonna allow her to get there and get better. Especially her only being a 10th grader, and she's gonna be able to do it for 2 more years. Like, she's only gonna continue to get better. And I mean, she's really, really, really good. And
awesome.
And it's not just we've talked about flag football and we talked about basketball, but like one of her things, and it may be her thing, is softball. And like people don't talk about her enough because of just, I guess, the publicity and stuff around flag because it's new, and there's been a lot of talk around it. And then I try to do a good job putting us out there for basketball, but a lot of people really don't understand how good she is at softball. Everybody sees all the stuff that we put out there about flag and basketball and stuff, but she is a phenomenal softball player. That's going to have a lot of opportunities to go play at a very, very high level on the softball field.
That's awesome.
So she excels at everything she does.
How is it you get not only coached by a coach at home, though? You got a dad that's a coach, is a really great guy who's obviously instilled some good characteristics in you. How is that, having such a knowledgeable person at home as a dad?
Oh, it's great. I mean, having him, he's been my coach for like my entire life. Like, he's been one of my coaches at least for my entire life. And so having him there and like being able to just like take the game kind of like home and just look back like at the game at home with him, it's really great. And then also like when me and him work one-on-one, it's really just it's really great just to be able to have him, because then I don't have to like go places. Like a bunch of people go to hitting lessons, or they go to like get infield lessons. Like, I don't have to do that because he's just so knowledgeable, because he played college baseball.
That's right.
So he knows the ins and outs of like that area of the sport. So
hey, he also knows if you're slacking or
yes,
not giving effort.
Yes, he does. That's another great part. It's just I'm always held accountable.
I think he's able to also with her is give a coach's point of view from maybe like from my side of stuff, like when from stuff for basketball.
This is why Coach Bowen's saying this.
Maybe stuff like that, and
not everybody has that.
Just having a coach that kind of knows different aspects of the game and can talk to you about things, and then also the training aspect of it is just super beneficial. And that's one of the things I didn't even mention. Is that's a positive for her that she has that not a lot of other people can benefit from.
I got to ask you about a play that I was at when we were watching the Hail Mary in basketball with 2.8 seconds. Was it 2.8, Coach?
Yeah.
2.8 seconds up here at the Boaz. I'm gonna call it Christmas Classic. Is that the correct name? You guys won the game off this. You were tied. Take us through the play. I know Coach drew it up on the fly, so to speak. We do not get that shot and buzzer beater if you don't make the perfect pass, which you did do. First of all, what was your confidence going into the play? You can be honest with us. Did you think it was going to work? Second of all, did you get the look you needed to get the pass off? Obviously, I think you did. And third, when it went in, what was your feelings?
Okay, so to answer the first question, did I think it was going to work? I thought it was going to. It definitely had a chance. But I was just like, okay, so if you can't see Addison, don't throw the ball. That's what my thing was. And then when I saw her like get ahead of that girl, I was like, oh heck yes. And so I just channeled my inner quarterback and
hit her on the run.
Yeah, hit her on the run.
Because the pass was a dime.
Yes.
I mean, you hit her in stride right by the free throw line extended, so to speak.
She caught the ball, took 2 steps, put it up.
Yeah, and then when it went in, did it take you a second to realize that had happened, or was it immediate, or did you just start going crazy?
I just started going crazy. I was like, oh my gosh. it was so exciting to be a part of, and it was
That's
great.
awesome.
That's what sports is about, is like those moments. You know,
Heck yeah.
We had you had a tough moment, you know, Saturday dropping a game against Douglas and not playing well, but then you go back and you get to be a part of those moments like that where there's so much joy and excitement and stuff. And that's the great thing about sports, is the highs and the lows.
That's awesome. Let's talk about y'all are on the eve of the county tournament, just from a perspective. Coach, let's start with you. Your mindset going into this, because here's the beautiful thing about Marshall County. It's a double-edged sword. Some of the absolute best girls basketball in the state of Alabama, without question, is in this county.
Yeah.
And different classifications as well, all the way up to 7A. When you go into a tournament like this, the stage is there, neutral floor. You can make a name for yourself that can live in infamy in this county, like if y'all was to make a run to this thing. But just your guys' mindset heading into this tournament.
For me, I want to treat it similar to the area tournament. You know, I sent a message out to them this morning. You know, when we get in the area tournament, now, you know, we dropped that game against Douglas on Saturday and didn't play well, and a lot of factors, and just didn't play well and lost the game. And so now when you go into the area tournament, it's gonna be a 2-3 seed matchup, where it's gonna be, all right, if you lose this game, the season's over with. You're done. Like, the season's finished. You know, if you win, you give yourself another opportunity to play for a championship. So I personally want to use this as a way to get into that mindset for the area tournament. So I want them to be a little nervous tonight. I want the pressure to be there. I want them to feel like the pressure to perform, because if we don't win, it's over, basically. You know, you don't get to move on. You know, you're done. So I want that pressure tonight because we play DAR, who is very similar to us. You know, it's not like we're way better than them, or they're way better. We're a very similar basketball team, which is going to be the case when we play Douglas. So this is very good for us to kind of work through some stuff to get us prepared for the area tournament. So that's where my mindset is at. And then after that, if we can win, then it is like we get to play against Guntersville, and that's an opportunity for us to face a really, really, really good team, good coach, good players, that is also going to help prepare us for when we play Sardis, or when we play West Point or Russellville, whoever it is. So I'm just thinking long game. You know, it would be great to have a great show in the county tournament and upset a bunch of people and all that stuff. You know, but we're going to have to play over our head to be able to do that. You know, I'm looking long game. What can we do to help us where it matters the most at the end of the year?
Peyton, as a player, these are the stages that people remember in this county. I mean, this Marshall County basketball tournament is huge. I don't have to tell you that, but just your thoughts heading into it, because it's an opportunity like no other to make a statement.
Yes, I think we can have a decent showing here in the county tournament. DAR is definitely a beatable team, and I do think that we could come out with a win tonight. And having the chance to play Guntersville, I do think that's going to make us better, like all around as a basketball team. You know, you get better by playing competition that's better than you. So I'm just excited for this coming week and just ready to go out there and play.
Do you play better with a little bit of pressure, like Coach talked about?
I think I do, personally, just because I just feel like it's something to rise to.
It goes back to her being a competitor. You know, she's a competitor, and most of the time when the pressure is on is when she plays her best. You know, the game I think back to was last year when we go to Wallace and we play Jasper, who was coming off of winning the state championship, and we go into like 3 overtimes, and she scores like 14 or 17 points, which normally does not happen for her. And she just keeps coming back and scoring and doing things and like getting to the free throw line, and like she was the reason late that we won that game. But that's kind of her, is when we need her the most, she usually plays the best. And we just got to get everybody to that level eventually. You know?
Before we shut the video down, Coach, just some final thoughts, where your head is heading into this, and things you want to see done with the team during this tournament, because it is, like you said, it's a great opportunity. It's on a neutral floor. A lot of positives can come out of this.
Yeah, as the coach, I'm excited to continue to try to figure out our identity, because we could go several ways for how we want to finish the year as far as how we want to play. So for me, I'm still trying to figure out, okay, what is the absolute best thing that we can do to help us be successful on the floor every time we step on it, regardless of who we're playing. So I'm excited to continue to figure that out. I'm excited for this coming week just to see some good basketball, see some good players play, some good coaches, and then once again see our kids compete and give the county a chance to see my girls play and see how we play and see some of the athletes that we have, because we've got a lot of really athletic and talented kids here too.
That's awesome. Peyton, before we let you out of here, just your thoughts heading into the back half of this season, starting with this county tournament.
Well, I'm ready. I'm excited to see how far we can make it, and I'm just so grateful for another chance to be able to compete with this team. I love these girls so much.
I know you love softball, but we're going to have to delay you playing for a while. You got to make a run in basketball like you did in flag.
Don't worry, she's still doing her training and everything. So
I went and hit before practice yesterday.
Yeah, she ain't gonna miss that.
That's good. Well, you want to delay it as long as you can, just like you had to delay basketball for flag, so to speak. I know you was doing double duty, but
That's a good thing about her. We thought about this, is she gets to miss all the not fun stuff.
oh
Yeah.
yeah,
She just gets
conditioning.
To play. She just
That's
plays.
safe.
Yeah,
She just
You
show up and
can't-
play.
You don't do out of season work if you're always in season.
that's right. That's fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact. What's that statement the guy said? Does David Goggins, you ain't got to get ready if you stay ready.
Yeah, that's right. She stays ready.
Appreciate you guys sitting in with us. Thank you so much.